Matthew Zagara. Yeah. Hey, guys, we all love having Flores on the staff, so what if we add another mastermind on offense? Now, I know it's almost impossible, but what about Gruden? You aren't the first person to ask this.
I mean, a Gruden-like person, sure. Gruden in Pittsburgh, I don't know. Just because, obviously the controversy surrounding him from the whole Vegas scenario and some of those email comments. I don't know how that goes over here. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, Gruden like mine, sure. You're never against having proven minds like that around. And it doesn't hurt even when you have a young coordinator like Matt Canada to have that almost like what we call a senior offensive assistant. That's what essentially what that, role would be. So it doesn't hurt to do that. Nah. And I'm sure Coach Simon has looked into that. It's just one of those things that if it doesn't make sense at the time or if they don't have the right match, then it's like you don't just do it just to do it. And I think that's more so the scenario with this because, yeah, it would definitely make sense to have a senior assistant to help out a young coordinator like that.
John Gruden is head coach or bust.
Yeah.
And we do kind of have senior assistant as a QB coach.
Mike Sullivan, absolutely.
I feel like Byron Leftwich would make the most sense.
He would.
Played here in Pittsburgh, had success down in Tampa Bay, without a job right now. Yeah. So if he's not finding another offensive coordinator spot somewhere.
But would you make him a senior offensive assistant though?
Nah, just I don't know. Just something underneath Matt Canada, and I don't know if it would be alongside QB coach with Mike Sullivan, but almost like Flores last year. Just something on offense.
Because see, the reason
what's a fancy title?
Well, the reason why I think it's different is this: Flores was already proven in terms of he was already a head coach, whereas with Leftwich, he still was trying to show that he could be the OC and have success. Remember, this is being his first one without Bruce Arians, and how the offense looked, and ultimately why he was not saying why he was fired, but it played a role into the firing. So I think it's different to give him a title. Even when I think of Terrell Austin, we brought him over. He still had how many years of successful DC jobs in Detroit before he ever was, promoted DC with us. He was already established somewhere else. When you think of Brian Flores, already established in DC, already established as a head coach, or at least making a foothold as a head coach. And I think that's why it was easier to give him a title without it ruffling feathers. Whereas if you give Byron,
you think it's more about the age, him being young?
Yeah,
because Terrell Austin was older at the time.
But him being young. And when you think of Matt Canada, right, those two dudes are not going to just be, hey, we're buddy working together. We all know if Byron Leftwich is here, what are we looking at B. Leftwich for?
I know what the fans are thinking. I know exactly. I'm just thinking, hey, get another good offensive mind in the building.
I know you would. For a fact you would. But fans, media, and I'm sure to an extent Canada is going to feel like, yo, you don't bring a guy that is just in the same phase as me, maybe a year or two in advance.
Had more success, too, on paper.
On paper, yes. But you catch the drift. It's like, man, that doesn't seem like he's here to help me. That's one of those, he's here to take my job. We talk about competition at the player level, and it makes sense. I don't always agree with competition at the coaching level, per se. Like, not during season, not because I've seen how that can go at times, and it really becomes I'm going to coach you guys to do what makes me look good, not what helps the team out. And that's just something that you don't really want to fall into. I don't think it would ever get to that, but to me, I just think that's a little bit more of a conflict. Whereas when you think about Flores coming in, and even with TA, how he was already established, he was already doing this thing age-wise, but also experience-wise. I just think it was a little bit easier to sell that where both of those guys, even though we all felt like, man, Flores, man, yeah, make him to DC. Like, we love it. But I think you could just sell it a little bit better as, he's just a senior defensive assistant and LB's coach. He's not taking your job. You still the DC, though. I don't think, man, Canada going to be feeling like that when you're looking at Leftwich and we over here hollering about the offense and we know what he's capable of and he played here.
I think with Flores, the difference, too, is that we knew it was just going to be temporary. It's like, hey,
yeah,
he's got some of the stuff going on with Miami.
It's a stepping stone.
He might have a break with a year or two without having a job, so why not give him one here in Pittsburgh? Yeah. Like, he's definitely qualified to be a head coach. We've already seen him be successful as a DC up in New England. It's just, it was like house money for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're right. There wasn't any thought of ruffling feathers. And see, maybe it could be a 50-50 proposition, or maybe there's a chance that Leftwich coming here could ruffle some feathers, but
Yeah.
it also could be the other thing where it would just be fine. But to your point, there's just more of an inherent risk bringing in Leftwich as opposed to Flores. I don't think there was any real risk in bringing Flores in. We all know what it was.
We knew owners were only going to be the ones upset. Everybody else was cool because everybody else was kind of like, all right, we understand why you say what you say. We understand why you feel the way that you feel based on the track record and the history and the current climate of minority coaches and the hiring process and stuff like that. So we understood it. With, like I said, this one is a little different because he ain't got no bags like that.
It could work out perfectly. Hey, we bring him in. He helps with some stuff, get some new route trees, whatever. Maybe he offers up some hot route suggestions.
But see, that the other problem would be this, and what's happened to that too?
Did you hear about that?
Yeah. What's happened? But I was gonna say the other thing is this though. We know how media works and we know how the fans work here. Any success that would happen, nobody's gonna say it's Matt Canada. Everybody's gonna instantly say it's B Leftwich. We already know this. Like, what are we talking about? They could be running the exact same plays. Everything could be everything could be verbatim the exact same. And we all gonna be in here hollering, hey man, I told you that's Byron Leftwich. Y'all was trying to do that with the defense this year. Think about it. It was times with the defense, there was like, see, that's because Flores here. And we like, bro, TA been here, Coach T been here, but no, that's because Flores here. And it's like, wow, because we don't want to credit the guys that we've like critiqued all the times. Now it's like, nah, they ain't do that. He did that. It's the new guy. He did that. Yeah, you know for a fact we'd do that. Not us all the way, but that would be the narrative.
You're right. Maybe the media could make it a little bit more toxic than what it actually is.